Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Sox have passed the New York Yankees in the standings, and not only that, they have clinched the season series against New York. They are 7-1 against the Yankees this year. That's absolutely insane, but that is massive for the battle for the number one wild card spot. We're going to talk about all of that in today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I'm your host, Jack Lotteray. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. But first, I was off yesterday. I work today, at the time you're watching this, do watch parties for our NFL channels, and I got a slack from my boss on my off day, the audacity on my off day, and he said, Jack, we were looking at the analytics, and you're not getting enough comments on your videos. And he said, if you want to be able to do watch parties this year for the playoffs, you need to get that comment number up. So I'm going to propose a challenge today. 100 comments is the goal on today's video, and whoever comments the most times singularly, so separate comments, whoever comments the most times, I will give a shout out at the beginning of tomorrow's video. So go down and comment Sox or one or me or whatever 1,000,000 times if you want to, and whoever has commented the most, I'm going to shout you out at the beginning of tomorrow's video. Let's get into the biggest news that came out of yesterday. Walker Buehler, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a demotion, so to say. I mean, it is. He was taken out of the rotation, and he will now be working out of the bullpen for the rest of the season. Now, Cora had kind of hinted to this a few days ago after Buehler's last start when a reporter, I forget who it was, asked him whether or not he was going to pitch on Monday, and Cora said, we haven't discussed that yet. Usually Cora has been like, yeah, that's the plan. For him to balk and say, we haven't really talked about that yet, the writing was kind of on the wall that Buehler's days in the bullpen, in the rotation, were numbered. And the news came yesterday, Pete Abraham had it first, that Buehler's being moved to the bullpen, which I think is the right decision. We'll get into that in a second. But we've got some quotes from Alex Cora and Walker Buehler. Buehler took it like a champ, and that is something that Cora said. And I really admire that about Buehler. But let's listen. Let's hear from Skip first. Let's hear from Alex Cora. He said, I talked to him last night. Craig Breslow did too. This is his new role. We'll figure out how it goes. Maybe one inning, multiple innings, whatever it is. We don't know yet. Whenever he's ready, he'll be there, and he'll help us out. He's been very frustrated with the way he has pitched. I still believe in him. He's a big part of what we're trying to accomplish. And I think that everything that Cora said there was completely reasonable. He has not pitched well as of late. I believe among qualifying pitchers, he's got one of the worst ERAs in all of baseball, I think was the stat. And he's having trouble getting out of innings. He's got a lot of runners on bases. He's consistently walking more batters than he's striking out. And that's not a good thing, especially for a starter. He's not getting the length that you want out of him. He's had some high points, but I think his low points outflank his high points. And bringing him into the bullpen, I actually think is a fantastic decision. I think that getting him in there, not having to go 5, 6, 7 innings, maybe focusing on one inning at a time. Like if he could turn into a high leverage reliever like he was in the final game of the World Series last year for the Dodgers, and he can help you get a 6th or 7th inning, get you out of a jam, I would take that every day of the week. We've been talking about this bullpen and how they've been making these adjustments that have been great. You send Giovanni Moran and Isaiah Campbell down to AAA. You bring up Richard Fitz, and you bring up I'm forgetting one. You bring up Richard Fitz, and then I forget who else they brought up. But what I'm trying to say is making improvements, bringing up more high leverage arms. So, Brennan Bernardino. I remembered Brennan Bernardino and Richard Fitz. You instantly upgraded your bullpen tenfold. And then if you're going to bring Walker Buehler into the fold as well, that's lethal for your bullpen depth. Now, one of the bullpen members will have to go, and I think it's probably going to be Richard Fitz going to the rotation. We'll talk about that in a second, but I love this move because his confidence as a starter shot. So just move him to the bullpen. Give him an inning here, inning there. I trust him more than Isaiah Campbell. I trust him more than Giovanni Moran. Come on, I'm all for this decision. I think it was the right choice. Here's what Walker Buehler had to say. I thought he took it like an absolute champ. He said, "It's obviously disappointing. It's the first time in my career that I've been in a situation like this. But at the end of the day, the organization, and to a lesser extent myself, think it's probably the right thing for our group. Gives me an opportunity to kind of reset in some ways. I think in terms of this team's year, I think it's the right thing to do. It's a situation I've tried to avoid my whole life, but the way this season and last season have gone for me, it's definitely understandable and something I'm going to try to embrace for the next couple of months." So I've already given my thoughts. You give me your thoughts. Do you agree with the decision to move Walker Buehler to the bullpen? Y for yes if you do, N for no if you do not. Go down below in the comments and let your voice be heard. I want to hear from you. I get down in the comments. I'm typing with you guys in the comments. I'm responding to your guys' comments. I want to see them. Y for yes, N for no. Do you agree with the decision to move Walker Buehler into the bullpen? So the question now is, who replaces Walker Buehler? There's 3 names that have been brought up and 3 potential candidates that I'm very, very intrigued by. Chris Cotillo had a great article highlighting the entirety of this decision, and here's what he had to say about the replacement for Walker Buehler in his bullpen slot. He said, "The 2 leading candidates, according to sources, are right-hander Richard Fitts, available in the Major League bullpen, and lefty Kyle Harrison, who is slated to start Sunday in Worcester. Monday's starter will be determined by how the next 3 games go in the Bronx. If Fitts is used in relief, which he was not last night, so we'll see how the next 2 days go, Harrison is the likely choice. Top left-handed pitching prospect Payton Tolle is also in the mix for a call-up in September, according to a source, but will make a scheduled start yesterday, in Worcester, ruling him out for a call-up early next week." I do want to say, for the record, too, Tolle absolutely shoved his stat line. I don't have it in front of me, but I know that he shoved. So I think he's going to be up here pretty quick. So buckle up, get ready. I think Payton Tolle is going to get called up really, really soon. But it sounds like it's going to be either Richard Fitts or Kyle Harrison. I think the option that makes the most sense is Richard Fitts because he's already up on the roster. So you don't have to do any moves whatsoever. And you just replace Buehler and Fitts, and they just swap places. That makes the most sense, but it also does depend on what happens the next 2 days in the bullpen. If Fitts has to pitch out of the bullpen in the next 2 days, then he will not be available to start an entire game. Now, last night was huge. You only had to use Whitlock and Chapman. So what does your bullpen look like over the next 2 days? I don't know, but I do think that Richard Fitts at the moment, because he's already on the big league roster, makes the most sense. But you make the call for me. Pick a pitcher. Who would you rather see make the start? Type RF if you think it's Richard Fitts. Type KH if you think it's Kyle Harrison. I would mostly be intrigued to see Kyle Harrison because, again, he was one of your big returns in the Rafael Devers trade. I would love to see that trade actually, bloom like, a flower, not a weed. So far, the trade hasn't looked great, but I would love to see maybe if he is the diamond in the rough of that trade. And so I would say Kyle Harrison, but I think logically Richard Fitts makes more sense. But you let me know, RF for Richard Fitts, KH for Kyle Harrison. Let me know your thoughts down below. We're going to talk about the game here in a minute, but we did get some injury updates yesterday as well. Pretty quick, nothing crazy, but they are significant. Wilyer Abreu took BP on the field yesterday before the game, which was a really good sign. And Rob Refsnyder was due to swing yesterday. I don't know if that happened. I would assume it did, and he's been running around. The Red Sox expect both of them to be eligible when their IL stints are up. I believe Refsnyder, that's Monday, and I think Wilyer, that's Thursday. So we should have them both back soon, which means Eaton and Hamilton, bye-bye. And this is what I'm saying. You're getting healthy, and you are finally formulating your best 26 men on the roster. Because, the bullpen imploded a few times last week. But that's because you didn't have all of your best arms. But now we're slowly starting to see with every single roster move that's happening, this roster is slowly getting to its final form, its best form, its best 26 players. And if you can take Hamilton and Eaton, send them back down to Worcester, bring in Refsnyder and Wilyer, you are just getting that much better than you already are. So these are really great news items. I'm very happy to see that they're on track, and I'm very happy that by this time next week, they should both be back. All right, we're going to talk about the game here in a second. Huge game, awesome game, really fun game to watch. But before we do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You guys killed it yesterday. At the time of recording this, I told you our goal was 4,800 subscribers. We are at 4,837. You guys absolutely crushed our goal yesterday. So thank you so much to everyone that hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much to everyone that shared the video. Continue to do that. If you're a brand new viewer and you've never watched one of our videos before, this is the kind of content you're going to get every single day. This is my commitment to you. When Walker Buehler got demoted to the bullpen, I had a short out before the big beat reporters had even reported it, before Catillo, McAdam, Tim Healy, all these guys. Before they confirmed it and reported it, I already had a short out about it. So that's the type of coverage you're going to get here on the channel. So I promise you, you're going to love what you see on this channel. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have, continue to send that link out to a friend. It really does help. I'm telling you, it really does. Let's grow this channel. 5,000 subscribers by the start of September. Let's keep the momentum going. This team's getting hot. Let's get hot as a channel. Let's do it right now. Red Sox win 1-0. They will at the very least split this series. They have officially passed the New York Yankees in the standings. And most importantly, and I talked about this in yesterday's video, most importantly, you win the season series. Jack, why is this significant? Because if you were to come down to the last day of the year and you and the Yankees are tied for home field advantage in the wild card, you hold the tiebreaker with the season series. That's massive. The Red Sox could lose the rest of the games against the Yankees this year, and if they are tied at the end of the year, they would still hold the tiebreaker. That was a massive game that you absolutely needed to win. And in a duel where the Yankees had, I would argue, the clear pitching matchup advantage, Brayan Bello throws a gem and out-duels Max Fried. Bello gives you 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Fried gives you 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks. So Fried has 2 more Ks, you have 2 less walks, you have 1 less hit, and you go 1 more inning. Brayan Bello's looking really good. I believe he's 8th in all of baseball in ERA right now with a 3.07. Like, come on, guys. Bello's been throwing great. He threw an absolute gem. Whitlock gives you a perfect 8th. Chapman gives you a perfect 9th. You strike out the Yankees 9 times. The pitching was the story of today. And Bello, oh man, you needed this from Bello because, guys, Crochet's on the mound today. Like, this is looking really good. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. It looks like we might get a series win, folks, which would be massive. We're going to talk about the standings here in a second. Offensively, you didn't do much. You outduel Max Fried, but he still shoves. You only get 6 hits, you walk 4 times, you strike out 9 times. Not a great day from the kid, Roman Anthony. Not a great day from the kids. Roman Anthony goes 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. Stinson Garcia makes his major league debut. He goes 0 for 3 with a walk and 3 Ks. They accounted for 2/3 of the strikeouts, those 2 alone. So, rough day for the kids. It is what it is. It will be okay. Really, what it comes down to is 3 players. Alex Bregman goes 3 for 4. He doesn't contribute to any of the scoring, but he kept getting on base, which was really awesome to see. And it comes down to an unlikely duo. Nathaniel Lowe, who I talked about in yesterday's video, is absolute highway robbery for the Red Sox, gets I believe it was a leadoff double, which was awesome to see. It wasn't leadoff, one out double, which was awesome to see. And then Connor Wong, of all people, goes 2 for 4 today with an RBI, hits an RBI double to give you the 1 lone run of the game for the Boston Red Sox. It's the battery today. Bello and Wong. They led you to the promised land, and you have won the season series against New York Yankees. I love beating the Yankees. I do. I mean, if you didn't already know, I love beating the Yankees. I absolutely despise the Yankees. And the fact that you are 7-1 this year against the Yankees makes me want to just get in a fit laughing. It's hilarious because everyone was like, "Oh my God, the Yankees! You got Aaron Judge. Oh my God, you got all these Max Fried. Oh my God, the Yankees be so good. Yankees went to the World Series. Like the Red Sox have won. They're 7-1 against you this year. You are the Yankees' daddies this year. It's not even close. You won the season series in August. That's domination, and it makes me laugh. It's just so awesome. I love beating the Yankees. There's no better feeling in the world than beating the New York Yankees. All right. Scoreboard and standings watch to get out of here. Everyone played, so we got a lot of scores. Some good scores, some bad scores. The Blue Jays win. They beat the Marlins 5-2, so nothing changes in the AL East. The Royals lose, which is big. They lose to the Tigers 7-5. What am I looking for? The Mariners are currently down 1-0 to the Athletics, but it is the bottom of the first. A lot of ball game left in that one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mariners end up winning that game. The Guardians are up 3-2 on the Rangers in the bottom of the eighth, and that's pretty much all of the scores that matter. So a lot of the games that matter haven't finished yet, so the standings aren't really going to change that much. What really matters is that you jump the Yankees. So you are now 5 games back in the division. So I do still think the East is cooked. I just don't know how you're going to make up that much ground in little time. But you are now 4 games up on the Royals for the last spot in the wild card because the Royals lost today, which was huge. If the Guardians win, you will also be 4 games up on the Guardians. The Rangers are out of it, the Rays are out of it, the Angels are out of it. It's really these 5 teams. It's the Red Sox, Yankees, Mariners, Royals, Guardians. It's those 5 teams vying for 3 spots. And you're 4 games up from losing a wild card spot. You're getting into territory where we're feeling really comfy about just making the playoffs. Now, obviously, I want to be the number 1 seed in the playoffs. I want home field advantage, but we're getting very close to just being comfortable with actually being in the playoffs. You also get to 70 wins, the 4th team in the AL to get there, which is awesome, and you're sitting pretty. You are sitting pretty. There's only 2 teams above you in run differential as well. The Yankees at 107 and the Tigers at 98. You're currently at 94 run differential, and then the next closest is the Rangers at plus 47. Or no, it's the Blue Jays at plus 56. So you've got a pretty big lead. Safe to say, the Red Sox are in a really comfortable spot right now, but you need to keep that lead on the Yankees. You have to. You are a half game up on them right now. If you win tomorrow, you're a game and a half. So you would guarantee to leave the Bronx with a lead, even if you were to lose the finale. So the Sox are looking really good right now, and that win last night, 1-0 playoff atmosphere, Yankee Stadium. You were able to clutch out a 1-run win. The boys are looking good. And they have reacted well to those 3-game losing streak. They've reacted incredibly well. They've gone on the road, which has been their kryptonite this year, against a good team. The Yankees are not a bad team. The Yankees are a good team. And you've won the first 2 with your ace on the mound today. Sox are looking good, and I'm feeling damn good. Do the Sox win this series? Yes or no? Just answer with a simple yes and a simple no. Crochet's on the mound today. I'm feeling nicey. I'm going to say yes, but you let me know yes or no down below in the comments. Make sure you go follow me on Twitter. That's going to be linked down below in the comments and the description of today's video. I am live tweeting every single Red Sox game, posting highlights, posting memes, posting funny stuff. You already know the deal. So make sure you follow me over there as well. We're going to be back with a short later today recapping the game. Then we'll be back tomorrow with another long form video. You already know how it is. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, let's go Sox.